Pre-recorded. This is the Red Ticket Blues podcast. I am Brian Buckley. This is being recorded on May 21st. To hit the internet, it's on May 22nd. And everyone stop. Stop now. I have something very important to talk about. Apparently, NBA players are bringing their children to press conferences, and people are not happy. They're not happy at all. And this practice has to stop post-haste. Well, that is according to some members of the media, that being Tim Winterhorst. And Stephen Curry brought his lovely daughter to a press conference game the other day after game one of the Western Conference Finals, which Golden State won, and she was cute and made some noise, and some of the media are not happy with it. And who's to blame them? I mean, we need to know the information. We need to know answers to questions like, how did it feel when you were down 20 points? Tell us a little bit about that in Joe Benigno character. And we're going to talk about Joe Benigno later, by the way, because I think he's getting dumber. Yes, that boggles the mind that could be feasible, but I think he's getting dumber. WFAN superstar Joe Benigno may be losing his marbles, more so. But back to the children at press conferences. Personally, I don't know why they're there. Is there any reason? The NBA is a superstar-driven league, and there's less players on each team. They're all trying to make a name for themselves, and they are the trendsetters. If you look at all the sports, the ones setting the trends, you may not agree with them. The way they act, the way they look, the way they dress, taking certain steps, social media. I think the NBA is the leading league when it comes to that sort of stuff. So it's sort of one guy brings their kid to a press conference, everyone follows along. Now, for me personally, like I said, I don't know why they're there, but it doesn't bother me. So that's my scalding hot take on it. I hope you're okay with those third-degree burns. And I have to be pretty proud of myself that I'm going to allow the kids to be there. That's my take. That is, yeah, I think I'm going to go with that. So let me pat myself on the back.
You're very, very good man.
Mm-hmm. Right there. So, first of all, I mean, that many people actually watch the press conferences. The only time I ever watch a press conference is after, one, some sort of crazy game, and I want to hear what people say, like a fight or something. Second, I forget to switch the channel after the game is over. It's sort of like there's 34 million channels, but you're just sort of at that point of the night where you're sort of dazed and just continue watching. And third, probably the last game of the finals. And that's when you do see kids there. I mean, it doesn't seem out of the ordinary there, but it's the media members because they are the ones that have to ask these tough questions. It's their lives that are being inconvenient. I would like to see maybe some 13-year-old kids there, something, just some pissed off teenagers, disinterested, with their nose in the air. Almost like the president's daughters when they were pardoning the turkey. They wanted to be anywhere but there. If we got those kids to come there, checking their phone, Dad, can we leave? That'd be a little more interesting to see how they react. But as far as that goes, I'm okay with it. I'm not saying they should be there, but I'm not saying ban them. So that's my official take. Mark it down. That's where we're at. Hey, how's everybody doing? This is the second podcast. I'm just checking in on you, stealing Bill Burr's line there, my second podcast of the week. Just going to quickly go over some things. I know you have a lot to do today. You're looking forward to that Memorial Day weekend. You want to have fun. You want to get loaded, see people, tell stories, bring in the wonderful summer. I know you do. But you have to listen to me first. That's part of the process. We know this. I just wanted to quickly touch on the NBA playoffs as we know them. And right now, after you listening to this, Game 2 of the Western Conference Finals will have already occurred. And the first game, I'm kind of surprised. The Warriors had some rest. The Rockets were coming off a 7-game series. And they were playing in Golden State. I figured it would be a domination by Golden State, and it wasn't. Even though Steph Curry was open half the time, just the Rockets' defense is so piss poor. So effortless. They don't even try. I mean, he's getting wide open shots. Granted, he didn't bang them all down, but still, way too many easy shots. Way too many easy shots. And the defense by the Rockets, they just jump at guys. They don't even try to play defense. They just jump at people, especially down low. And watch what'll happen is they'll play amazing defense tonight, and you'll listen to this and go, wow, Brian continues to be a jackass with the Houston Rockets. But it looks like Dwight Howard will play in Game 2 tonight. The first game, I don't even know if he played at all in the second half. I don't think I only saw him on the bike the whole time. I remember for about 10 minutes. I'm just going to list every number until I get the quarter that I remember. I'd say about 2 minutes into the third quarter, I never saw him the rest of the game. I don't know if he played at all in the second half. So it's really not important, those 2 minutes, because they ended up losing the game. And we'll see what happens tonight. I don't even think we saw anything close to the best from Golden State in that game. We moved to the Eastern Conference, and last night's game was the first game of the series. And LeBron was LeBron. The Cavs took it home. And what do you know? Who showed up? Our old friend J.R. Smith. Now, J.R., I'm looking at his... What I'm doing is I'm typing, just looking to get his final stats from last night, which he was in the zone at one point shooting threes. Now, he's obviously due for that 2 for 24 game very soon. All Knick fans know that. And then he'll tweet some picture of just an enormous derriere of some chick he just met, and he won't think anything of it and let his teammates down. That's what he does. What was the actual line from last night's game? I have the internet in front of me and I can't find that. But anyways, LeBron re-injured the ankle, but he was fine. Just never seen a guy who is next to death's door when he gets injured. No one likes getting injured, but LeBron, the production, the act of when he gets hurt, it's like nothing I've ever seen, to then become just superhuman once again. It's almost like something is giving him a boost to his, just something's growing inside of him. Take that for whatever way you want. But I'll tell you, he did learn a lot when he was in Miami, and he's brought that to Cleveland. He's learned a lot from Dwyane Wade. First, it was how to win championships. And while some people say, well, Dwyane won that with Shaq. Yes, he did, but he showed LeBron how to win some championships. He also showed him how to whine after every single call or non-call. I don't remember the old LeBron doing this. The whining, the pleading, the just complete shock when something doesn't go his way is unbelievable. And back to the aforementioned amazing recovery from injuries, a Dwyane Wade staple that we all know and love. So you see a little Dwyane Wade and LeBron every game. J.R. Smith had 28 points last night. How many threes did he make? He made 12. No, okay, 8. He took 12 threes. I was like, he didn't make 12, but that's something else, man. He was on fire. He was shooting off-balance shots. It was just, that's what J.R. Smith is. He's an inconsistent shooter. We know this. We know exactly what he is, so people can't get used to what we saw last night, because that could change at any time. Damari Carroll, the Hawks, arguably one of the Hawks' best players, and definitely their best defender, went down with a knee injury. Last time I heard, it was actually day-to-day, and it was just sort of a jammed knee, so to speak. I personally didn't think it was an ACL. Twitter thought it was an ACL because of the extreme pain he appeared to be in, and the scariest of all scary, it was a non-contact injury, which it's life is funny that way, where it's not really funny when you do it, but those non-contact injuries are the ones that are the killers. Absolute killers. And just quickly going in baseball, locally, this is going to be a little bit of a shorter podcast, but just to wet your whistle. By the way, you can follow the show, iTunes. Well, you can go to the website, redticketblues.com. You can listen to the show there. You can listen to it on iTunes, TuneIn Radio, Stitcher, YouTube, and you can follow me at BrianBuck13. Beautiful segue. Absolutely terrible. In baseball, I'm not going to get into all the stats and everything, but if you're a New York fan, life is starting to not crumble, but it's starting to come back to reality. Yes, both teams, actually, let's see, what are the standings? I know both teams are still hovering around first place, but are they in first place? The New York Mets won today with a stellar performance from Jacob deGrom. I don't think he gave up any runs. The Yankees are 22-19. They are tied for first with the Tampa Bay Rays, and the Mets are half game Okay, so both with comparable records, relatively comparable, 24-18 for the Mets, 22-19 for the Yankees, both playing like garbage in their last 10 games, their last 50. I mean, the Yankees are just falling apart. Jacob, put a Y at the end of it, make it Jacoby. Jacoby Ellsbury on the DL. Chase Whitley, done for the year. Chris Capuano, thanks to have you back. You are still terrible. And Tanaka should be coming back soon. Carlos Beltran, not really into going for fly balls. He's really into running for them, but not extending his arm to actually make the effort to catch the ball. I tell you, Carlos Beltran has never been a Iron Man, but as he gets older, it becomes a sad sight to watch. And he's starting to hit a little bit, a tiny bit, and I stress tiny, a little better now. But at some point, they're going to have to make a change. I'd almost put Chris Young in there full time. I don't think Girardi wants to do that yet. What does he have a corny nickname for Chris? Chris. Well, Chrissy's been swinging the bat well. Los is just going through a hard time. He's just going through a hard time now. That's what Los is up to. Or Belt. I don't know. I want Girardi. He took out, what did he take out last night? It didn't end up mattering, but taking out Teixeira in a one-run game to have the rookie, Slate Cott be the pinch runner in their two-run game. What if they tied that? And you take Teixeira's bat out of the lineup. Thankfully for him, he didn't feel my wrath, and more importantly, it didn't matter. But I don't know. It's just already overmanaging, and the Mets have, their offense is starting to fail them, and some of their pitchers are coming back down to earth in Nice and Cologne. But that's what it is. And like I said, short podcast, short and sweet today. I want to talk about, maybe some people aren't familiar with this gentleman. His name is Joe Benigno.
Hey, bro.
He is a WFAN host for the midday show, WFAN 660 AM in New York. And Joe is teamed up with Evan Roberts. Joe is probably close to 60, late 50s. Now, he is a guy that I think people gravitate towards or have in the past because he is like a fan. In fact, he was a fan. He was a caller to the Mike and the Mad Dog show, Joe from Saddle River. And I think people did or do appreciate him because he doesn't take himself too seriously. And if you listen to him, there's a reason, because he's missing brain cells. Now, there's something today. Now, the past few years, Joe used to do the overnights, and I'll admit I didn't listen to him that much. I was in school, so I wasn't staying up to listen to the ranting and raving of some crazy person. But I really started to get into Joe Benigno when he took over the midday show by himself, and then Evan Roberts was added years later. Now, Joe knows. Joe, how do I explain Joe Benigno? I'm losing my train of thought here. He's an everyman. He is passionate about things, but usually falls off as soon as there's any point of contention thrown at him. I guess. He could feverishly be against something, and Evan, his partner, will say, "Hey, Joe, just think about that, though. If you're so against Bartolo Colon, wouldn't he be better in a spot like that?" After Joe had just been screaming for a while, and then he'd just go, "Oh, I guess. Yeah, maybe you're right. I don't know." But Joe was talking today. Maybe that wasn't the best example, but here's an example of how stupid Joe is. Evan Roberts was talking about how Roger Goodell, the NFL commissioner, has decided to, I don't know if it's this year, I don't think it's this year, but in the future, they're going to be playing some games internationally in Mexico and Brazil. And for some reason, Joe Benigno is very against that. For me, does it really do anything for me? No, I don't give a shit. And it shouldn't to Joe Benigno. First of all, you're not going to the games. You're still sitting in the same spot watching them. Second of all, Roger Goodell doesn't care if you like the games in those places or not either. Because you know what? You're going to watch whether they're playing in Mexico or Brazil or in the backyard or at your local high school. Because you know what? You're still watching. He has you. It's a drug. It's a physical dependence. Physical and mental dependence. So all these people can talk and say all the things about the NFL and how unholy it is. And it is. It is run by some disgusting people, as are all the sports places. They're about money. Sports places, sports. The NFL is probably the dirtiest. But you're all going to watch. And you're never going to stop. But anyways, Joe Benigno then said, bro, because he's bro Benigno. Bro, I mean, you're going to play these games. You're going to play them in Mexico, and then you're going to play them. You're going to play them in Brazil. I mean, what's next? You're going to play them in Iraq and Pakistan. So this is what Joe Benigno is doing. Joe Benigno is comparing. Now Mexico has its lawless regions, but it's still a developed country in major places. In Brazil, I know they've had their economic troubles recently, but last time this could be a bit off. But last time I checked, they were the 8th largest economy in the world. So he is comparing these two places to Iraq, which is overrun with Islamic State fanatics, and Pakistan, where it is still run by it's a lawless region with the Taliban and Al-Qaeda. So is that what Joe Benigno is picturing when he hears those being played in Mexico and Brazil? Does he think that they're going to be playing in those sort of areas? I just don't know. I feel like Joe's getting dumber. I really do. The past 2 or 3 years, I think Joe's getting stupider, which I never thought was. It's getting hard to listen to the midday show. I think Evan is decent. He's definitely matured from when he was a whiny child when he first came on. Talk about a sweet gig. That guy's been doing radio since he was a kid. His mom knew the people at WFAN, but he's earned where he is, I think. He is a smart guy. But all the smarts in the world can't help Joe Benigno sometimes. We'll play a few clips here of the supreme intelligence of Mr. Bro Benigno and take a gander of what a genius sounds like in person. Well, not in person, but on the podcast.
Joe is calling from Jersey.
Joe.
How are you?
Good, Joe. What's up?
When are we going to see Pineda pitch? And what about him to this point? Have you seen anything? What about where he's at?
Well, who knows? No, I mean, what's this? His third year now with the Yankees, and he still hasn't pitched, right? What are we in year 3?
That's true. He just hasn't. He hasn't pitched that much.
I mean, come on. Who knows anything? Are we going to find? Was he going to pitch a spring training game anytime soon?
That was you, bro.
Oh, that was me.
Yeah.
Was that me?
That was you.
Like I had the other night.
You had a blind date the other night?
Yeah.
Now, let me
I
ask you a
knocked
question.
on the door. She opened up the door. She looked at me, and the disappointment on her face.
Well, I mean, forget about what her face looked like.
And then the nurses just turned her around in her wheelchair,
Oh, my
pushed her away,
God.
and slammed the
Now,
door.
wait a minute, hold
My
on.
friend, that's disappointment.
Well, hold on a minute. Did you really have a blind date the other night? Seriously? Did you?
You're so stupid.
No, I want to know. And if somehow, and I don't know where it would be, I don't know how far this guy's going to fall, okay? But Tyrann Mathieu, okay, we all know about his issues off the field. Believe me, I go buy him the drugs if the Jets got him, okay? All right? I would. I mean, I'm on record to say, because the guy was the best player in the
quad. I mean, if you look at the guys in the picture, it looks like they're stretching.
I didn't even know I had a quad. You know, I didn't even know I had a quad until like the last 10 years. No, I mean, did you know what a quad was?
I knew what a quad was.
No, come on, seriously. I mean, there's so many different things.
What? Of course I know what a quad was.
Like, did you ever know?
The man didn't know he had a quad. He didn't know. I didn't know he had a head. I didn't know he had a brain. That's, I think, where we're going to end it this week. It's, like I said, short and sweet. I want everyone to enjoy their memorial. Hey, before I give all the whole spiel, you know, how about those Knicks, huh? They tank and tank and tank, lose games, embarrass the city, the franchise, their fans, and they get the number 4 pick. So they're probably still a top 5 pick. 4 is before 5. So you're going to get a good pick, but how about that? They can't even get what they want. You can't always get what you want. And there was a tweet today from a Knicks beat reporter that Carmelo Anthony was just at Madison Square Garden watching the Liberty practice. Because Carmelo Anthony would be totally interested and, you know, he should be watching the Liberty practice. I wonder if that has anything to do with the Liberty president being Carmelo Anthony. No. Carmelo Anthony has dual roles. No. The Liberty president being Isaiah Thomas. But Isaiah Thomas, he doesn't have anything to do with the Knicks, right? Remember, he said that. He has nothing to do with the Knicks. What the hell is going on in that arena? It never ends with James Dolan and Isaiah, a passionate love affair for the ages. What are you going to do? I want everyone to have a great Memorial Day weekend. Have fun. Don't drink too much. If you do, don't drive. Have fun. And you can always listen to the show at well, you can follow me at BrianBuck13. The website, I'm losing my train of thought here. The website is redticketblues.com. You can always listen to the show on TuneIn Radio, iTunes, Stitcher, YouTube, whatever you choose, whatever your heart fancies. Everyone, have a great time. Subscribe to all those channels. Leave a review. I'm out of here.